Paulie Stewart, are you there?
Yes, I am, Jonathan.
Good, Paul. Not many people call me Jonathan these days.
I've always called you Jonathan. Come on.
I sound like I'm speaking to my mother, who's dead.
Yes. Well, when you said today, we were talking about doing this during the week, and you said, Paulie, I want to line up a three-way, my immediate thoughts went to you and Pumpy in some motel room, and I went, all right, I'm in.
Okay, but it's not.
Pumpy's there, I'm there. We've got the fantastic Laurence Houston, the voice of Flinders Street Station, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is a cult hero. I walked through the centre of Melbourne with him the other day, and people were stopping us in the street to say hello to Laurence. Unbelievable.
Laurence?
Yes, Johnny.
How do people know what you look like?
It's all such a video-based viral thing that went up. I'm actually kind of surprised. When I wear my hair out, I look nothing like I do at work, because at work I have to tie my hair back. And then I'm out in public, my hair's out. I don't expect anyone to know who the hell I am. And you just see, like, people's faces just going, like, oh, it's him. I'm like, I was just on Hosier Lane, like, 15 minutes ago, and someone turned around because they heard me talking to someone, and they said, oh, my God, I just recognised your voice. Gee whiz.
And Laurence, can you tell the listeners what you do and why they recognise your voice?
I'm a platform announcer at Flinders Street Station, so I'm the voice you hear announcing train, what time the train's coming in and whether there's been a last-minute platform change. And I got a little bit. People started taking videos of me and putting them online because I took a lot of. I got very liberal with what I said on the microphone. I started, making quips and sort of observations about the day, and people seem to enjoy that a lot.
Do you get into trouble at work?
No, I don't, surprisingly. Everyone asks that. They're always like, oh, surely you've been pulled aside. I think it's a sign of how much of a sterile society we live in when the assumption is immediately that I've been hauled over the coals for it. But no, surprisingly, like, I've just been given plenty of rope to do what I want to do.
That's really heartening. Paulie,
yeah. Hey, Lawrence,
you get into trouble a lot, don't you?
A couple of lines, Lawrence. Yes, I get into trouble a lot. But can we get Lawrence, give us a couple of your classics. The one about the Werribee line. Love that one.
Oh, you mean good afternoon and welcome to Flinders Street Station. The next train to arrive on platform 10 is the 10:02 Werribee service. This train will be stopping all stations to Werribee if you're heading out west and you know that you are part of the best.
And Laurence, how did you get the job?
Honestly, like every musician, I was looking to keep a roof over my head. And so I was just flinging resumes out there to see what was going on. And Metro were taking on staff because they've got all those tunnels opening and the new lines and everything. So it was just a matter of sending in a resume. And then within 4 weeks, I was sat at the Metro Academy being trained up.
Really? Was it the bit about the fact that you spend a lot of time playing in a metal band on your resume that got you the job?
Most definitely not. I think maybe there'd have been some reservation if they had known. I kind of pushed my way into the platform announcement stuff because the rostering for it is much kinder to musicians than the barrier staff.
Okay, tell us about your band.
I'm a singer and guitarist of a band called Sorted Ordeal. So we've been around a few years. We released our debut album in February this year. Pretty Australiana stuff. I think people who like Hoodlum Shouts or The Drones or Red Gum, Goanna, Painters and Dockers, I think they'll like the kind of music that we make. We've taken a lot of influence from those sort of, forebears of our art form. It rocks, it's distorted, it's hard and it's heavy, but it's also quite poetic. So, yeah.
It sounds beautiful. Paulie, can you tell us how you met Laurence?
Well, I'd heard about this rumour going around about this guy at Flinders Street, and the Dockers, we've got this old song, The Boy Who Lost His Jocks on Flinders Street Station, that we wrote because we were chosen to support John Cooper Clarke, the English poet. And we said, let's come up with a song and we'll do it once on the night we support him, and that was 30 years ago. And if we don't do that song in the set now, I'm threatened with broken legs or a smashed face. But I went, oh, look, I'm going to approach this guy. And I went up to him very sheepishly and I said, listen, mate, I know I look like I'm a bit of a weird cat here, but listen, I play in a band. Would there be any chance you'd, get up and do this song with us? And he said, what band? And I said, the Dockers. And he goes, mate, I'm in, no worries. So we lucked out. We feel blessed to have him on board. Yeah.
And where is this gig and when?
It's next Saturday night at Mimo in St Kilda with Laurence, and we've got the three-girl punk act from Adelaide, Pelvis, who are really worth getting there early to check out. They're fantastic. And I've just found out we've got a guest tuba player getting up for the night. My ambition, John, is by the end of the Dockers' career, every single person in this town will have done a guest spot with the Dockers. You have.
I have.
We just want... we're not a band, we're a religious cult. So everyone is in the Painters and Dockers, whether you like it or not, folks. Sorry about that, but you are.
Lawrence, are you prepared to join a religious cult?
I thought my initiation couldn't possibly come soon enough. So quite frankly, I feel like I've found an early backdoor in. I've been waiting in line round the corner for the call up for years. So I could name a few other artists I'd happily jump up with as well. But I mean, like, what a trip to be in a gigging, working Melbourne band now, and to get conscripted by the Dockers to come up on stage and deliver The Boy Who Lost His Jocks. I mean, what an honour.
What a great honour. Have you got anything about the Lilydale line?
Are you on the Lilydale line, Johnny?
Yeah, that's where I grew up, near Mont Albert Station, which was very clean.
Yeah, it's I can't think of too many quips that I've written about the Lilydale line. All I know is that it's very long and it doesn't lend a very PG-rated sort of situation for it. I don't think enough people give you credit for how much of an effect you had on the Voice of Flinders Station, quite frankly, though, because as a 21-year-old, I saw you on the steps of Parliament House delivering that outrageous speech at the Slam rally. And I will never forget the minute you looked over your shoulder, you looked at Parliament House and you screamed, "You'll lose seats over this, Brumby." That was a formidable moment. I've never forgotten that. And now I stand on this platform and I deliver these. All I try to do is emulate an orator like yourself. And I mean, I'm not even taking the piss. I'm being dead serious. That moment was like, wow, if I could deliver speeches and quips like that, I'd be made. And now I'm made.
I felt like a dictator that day. It was a wonderful feeling. Hey, that's fantastic. Do you know what, though? It's time for another one. It's time for another Slam rally, because what's going on with music venues now is much worse than it was, 15 years back when we were having difficulties with, liquor licensing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's get out there in the streets and do it again, Laurence.
I would be right next to you. Honestly, it was so necessary at the time, and I think what's terrifying is that we had no idea what was coming around the corner, and we've got venues closing left, right and centre, and it's not just Melbourne. It's losing, as Sorted Ordeal, which are effectively at the start of their Australian music career, had a list of venues that we hope to play, a list of bands that we hope to play with. We may never get to play the Zoo. Like, the news of that coming out, that gutted me, and bars that supported us, like Whole Lot of Love, the Brunswick Hotel disappearing. Like, there's plenty of pubs and bars that are just falling by the wayside. Bars that gave us a hand up, in this new era of music that's trying to make its way. But then there's a lot of classic ones, especially those mid-sized ones that support bands that aren't yet, pulling 800 people. You need those 300, 400, 500 cap rooms, the 200 cap rooms, and those are falling apart. And so all you've got is, the pokey little ones that are required for when you first start, your 50 caps, your 75 caps. And then you jump straight up to the corner hotel, but we're losing everything in between.
Yep, yeah, dead right. Let's speak to people and do something about it. Laurence, what a privilege it is talking to you, the voice of Flinders Street Station, and I hope you hold it together, play with the Dockers.
Yeah, I tell you what.
I can't wait. Thank you so much for having me.
JVG, I reckon, given just what I've listened to the last 5 minutes, I reckon he could become a regular on your show, this chap. He knows his shit and he's passionate and he's he's got his act together, and we can't wait to dock with him. So come along, folks. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
And thank you, Paulie, for introducing us. Let's get you live in the studio when we're in Melbourne again soon, Laurence. That'd be great.
I would love to. It'd be an honour. Laurence,
I think I'll get you to introduce the song. We're going to play The Boy Lost His Jocks.
The next song to arrive on Triple R on JVC's show is Painters and Dockers' very own The Boy Who Lost His Jocks on Flinders Street Station.